guys, this is Rongni here. This is the principal architect and co-founder of the Tinted Studio. So this entire purpose of this IGTV is that a lot of you have reached out to me as to how I am balancing my organization during this tough COVID time that is going on. So I guess COVID has affected everyone, like business of all types and all scales, and it's really important for us to get together and understand what difficulties we are facing as an organization collectively and what we can do towards it. So this is more like a fun chit chat session, trying to avoid and trying to forget for a bit what is going on around us, even though we're going to talk about it. But it's like more like an interaction where we should really find out what we can do collectively to together fight this situation and overcome the situation and look towards the positive side of it. So last week I reached out to you guys and asking for questions as to what you guys feel I should answer, and I was flooded with a lot of DMs, and thank you so much for this overwhelming response. I'm really grateful and overwhelmed for the same. And out of that, I have shortlisted 7 questions, okay, which I really feel is very important and valid at this point of time. So I will be trying to answer these questions to my fullest, with all my true intentions and what I really feel that I have done to overcome this. And if you guys have any opinion, any comments, so just leave a comments down, or you can feel free to DM me or reach out to me, and we can talk about this, and we can try to think as to what can be done for the better side and find out some creative solutions to get over with this. Okay, so let's start. All right, so the first question is, which part of the business was affected the most by COVID, and what did you do to overcome that? All right, so I think the most important part of the business that was affected was definitely the client communication. So when I'm talking about communication, it's mainly like for our profession, we really need to, I feel that at times we really need to meet the clients physically. We need to visit the sites, we need to understand their requirements, so that kind of creates a personal bonding with our clients, and it really helps them gather that confidence in us. So I think that we are trying to put things down digitally, and we are trying to do everything virtually. Even site visits, we are doing it virtually, trying to understand their requirements. But a lot of clients are not comfortable with that. I won't say they are like a little skeptical or backdated or technically sound. It's nothing of that sort. It's like, do you do your interiors or you do your design, architectural design once? Okay, it's like on a scale of like on an average, you just do it once. And it's very important for our clients to meet us, and they really feel that they have to create that personal interaction with us to be able to get that confidence. Okay, fine, he or she can do this kind of interiors or the project for me. So what I did to overcome the situation is like, definitely I can't visit the site, but the only option that was left to do things virtually. So for me, it was very important to put in more details into my presentation, to put in more details into my concepts, to put in more details about the overall budget discussion that we would have had on the site, the scope of work that we would have had on site. So everything is on paper, it is documented well, and it is sent off to the client for their understanding, so that they get the confidence that we have understood their requirements 200% instead of 100%. So when they get their confidence, okay, he or she has understood our requirements well, he or she knows what we actually want, even if like it's slightly vague from our end, but if we represented that well, I think it's well enough for them to get their confidence and give their project to us. I really do feel that. Okay, so going to the next question, how do you convey your designs during COVID? All right, now how do I convey? Well, the only way of conveying my designs or ideas is through video call meetings. So the reason why I do video calls is because when a client is seeing like more of me, okay, of the architect or the designer or the designers for that matter. If you have a like a board of designers, then you can have involve everyone in that communication, so that the client feels that we are providing so much of attention and importance to their project, which we are. So I do those kind of video communications. So initially, had it been a physical site visit or something, so we do it usually once in a week, or twice a week if required, or once in 2 weeks. It depends from organization to organization and also the scale of the project. But for me, when I am doing this kind of like virtual meet, I make sure I multiply the number of times I'm doing it in a week, so that the kind of gap that has been created between the virtual communication and the importance of physical communication in the client's head, that is kind of I create a bridge between that, okay. Otherwise what happens is the client might feel I am probably not able to reach the position, reach the idea, the concept, the level of communication which he is probably expecting from my team. So I make sure that I have this more number of video meets and more number of phone calls and selections, etc., in a number of weeks. So I increase the number, okay, and of the communication that I have, the number of meetings I have in a week. So that way, it's like you're interacting more with a client, and they really feel that, okay, this person is totally into my project, he or she is totally giving their 1000% on this project. So it really helps in creating that bond as well in the long run, which is really advantageous. Okay, all right. The third question: how do you manage material selections? Oh, well, this is one of the most difficult questions. So honestly saying, like initially I was like gone, like mentally gone. I was clueless as to what is to be done. So because I did not have, being a young organization, the challenge for me, I can say that I did not have a lot of vendors who can help me with these material selections, who can send off materials to the site, etc. And nor did I have project managers at this stage where they can cater to my needs, and they can help me send those catalogs or materials to my clients, and kind of help me ease the selection process. So what I did initially, I used to do is like I would definitely click photographs and videos, but obviously there was a huge difference in the resolution, the colors and everything that was shown in the photographs than it was in reality. So I started convincing my vendors, I started building a good relationship with them. I started to reach out to more and more vendors and people that to please help us during the situation, and where I made them understand as well how profitable it can be for them, if I am buying something, if they're helping me out, and if the client likes something from their store. So it's going to help them, it's going to profit them eventually, because those products are going to come from their store. So this was a long process, I would say, because like I said, for me, for my organization, I really never worked on vendor relationship management. I was more into client communication. I never built that relationship with vendors, or did not have a lot of contacts. But then I spent months to develop that relationship, where I just make a call. I'm like, okay, fine, just send this catalog to so and so site, and please send this material to so and so site, it's very much urgent. And they do that. It's just one phone call away, like everybody's just one phone call away. So I think that if you guys have still not started building that relationship with these vendors, trust me, they are the frontline people. These are the people you really need in your life. So okay, so please start building the relationship with your vendors. Don't just forget focus on your clients or the people around you. These people are very important, okay? So start focusing on them. I think work will become very easy. All right, okay. So question number 4: few clients insist for site visits. How do you manage to not go and still able to deliver the best? Okay, so I think this question I had kind of addressed in my earlier question as well. So this is, again, everything is a game of communication. Okay, the better your communication is, the clearer the picture is for your client towards you, and makes things much easier. So it depends on how you do it. For me, I increase the number of meetings that I have in a week. I increase the number of communication, be it in terms of WhatsApp or be it in terms of phone calls. Sometimes I colloquially also text my clients, hi, what are you doing, how are you, how have you been, instead of any work. So all these things kind of help create a personal relationship with your client, which is very important, because you cannot forget, at the end of the day, you are designing their home. All right, so when you're designing a home is like a personal space of your client, right? It's a very, very personal space. So you have to enter their personal space as well to some extent, to get that confidence that they are looking out for in you. Okay, so this is very important, I think. So everybody has got their different ways of conversation, different ways to start a conversation, different mediums of conversation. So I think the main thing is that we need to focus on that. Then I think, yeah, your clients will be pretty much convinced by your the person you really are, and your efforts, for that matter, to make things much more smoother for you. All right, okay. So the sixth question is, how do you manage the COVID negativity with business? Does it not affect you in any way? Well, COVID business, yeah, so the COVID has definitely affected me in a lot of ways. I myself was COVID affected, and still I had got many projects in line, and I had to balance both. Okay, for me, work keeps me positive. All right, so as long as I'm working, I'm fine. As long as I'm as soon as I realize, okay, fine, something has happened to me and I cannot work, and I have to take a step back, well, it really throws me into pits. But I think taking a step back at times is also very, very important, because if you do not take a step back, you cannot move 2 steps forward, is what I realize. So it's very important for us to realize at that point of time what is more important. So sometimes you really need to be blunt enough to tell your clients, okay, I'm not doing well, or even if something serious has not happened to you, you need a break. Work is work is an activity. Your brain is constantly exercising. So you need to tell your clients sometimes very bluntly that I have to take a step back. I am not up for it. Give me a day or two, give me a week, give me whatever time you require, and I will be delivering you the best. Okay, this is my commitment. I have told you that this is a timeline where I am going to deliver so and so items, but for this I need to take a step back for a couple of days, and you have to be blunt about it. So when I was COVID affected, or before that, when I was there was so much of negativity around me, I had to tell my clients that I'm sorry, I will not be able to work on your project for so and so days, or I am a little little off, or I have to take a step back. And I was pretty much open to my clients, because I had built that personal relationship with my clients, where I could have that much of comfort to tell them where I need that space to work, where they can keep their communications away from me for a bit of time, where I can get my head straight and get back to work when needed, so that I can deliver what they are expecting from me. So I think communication, again, is an important part. All right, how do you motivate the people working for you? Okay, now there are a couple of people who are working for me. I think the way I am talking about how COVID or the situation around is affecting me, or sometimes it can be anything, okay, like any XYZ situation which is affecting you, or a moment in your life where which is bothering you, or something really exciting has happened in your life for which you want to take a break from your work, or anything that can happen which can create a gap between you and your professional space. And there are people who are also working with you. So for clients, it's okay, like I said, addressed in my earlier question, you are clear about it, that okay, fine, I need a break. Same way, there are people around you who are probably dependent on you, on certain instructions, or the kind of work you do, or the kind of environment that you've created for them. So if you are taking a step back, it's important for them also to take a step back, or for them to step up themselves and work for you. Similarly, when the situation comes, if something is affecting them, you can tell them that, okay, team, you can take a step back. I am going to step up for you guys. I am going to work overtime. I am going to work on the weekends, or do your part of the work as well. There's nothing called yours and my part of the work. That's what I feel. But if you've given some task to them and they are not able to complete it for some kind of reasons, then it's your responsibility, like a manager or like a leader, to take that responsibility, take that task in your kitty for a while and do it. Because the way you need a break, even they can need a break. Okay, they might need a break for, say, like a couple of days or a week, but you need to be prepared for that. It's a team at the end of the day. So I think for a good teamwork, it's very important to balance out these kind of communications, balance out the bad part as well as the good part, and kind of have a happy space to work in. So I never kind of really behave like I am the boss, or I'm the manager, or I'm this, I'm that, or something. It's very colloquial and very friendly, and I think that is the kind of workspace we need. They are working for you, you are working for them, you're working for someone else. It's a chain. So at the end of the day, it's very important to have a very healthy environment to work in. That's what I believe. So we come to the last question. All right, how does the execution take place during COVID when everything is under strict lockdown? Okay, this is a very interesting question, I felt, because if everything is under lockdown, how do you work? Okay, now there are two ways, like which I follow when in this situation, which I followed rather, to make the execution happen and still deliver on time. One is, if the clients are not staying at your place, then at the apartment, then I make sure that the laborers or the workers are staying up in the on the site. And as for the materials, so we pre-order the materials. Okay, so we definitely know when we are doing the budgeting of the project at initial stage, we do know what is the lump sum quantity of all the materials that we require, and we order those materials in bulk. Again, the relationship with the vendors matters. Sometimes they do go like to the moon and back to make things happen for you. If I need something urgently and that there is a lockdown going on, still they will make sure to deliver what I need. But if you do not have such people around you, or sometimes the situation is so much worse that even these people, the people can't help you, so we know that something is going to happen, or there's going to be a lockdown or something, so we do pre-order the materials in bulk and make sure that if we do not need something, we can return that. But we make sure that we order the materials in bulk plus the wastage materials that we need to order. So that is one way. And the second way is, if the workers are not able to stay on the site, if the clients are already staying on the site, then we make a place, like like for two of my projects, I rented a small apartment, like a small area for my laborers and workers to stay, where they cook, they stay, and they work. And it's in the same premises of the site, and there are two sites, and in the same vicinity, I got a rented place for them to stay. So it's easier for them to just walk and go to the site. And also I took permission from the security of those sites, they can come, because they know that they're just staying in one place and they're not going out daily. It's just this 2 points that they are traveling to, so there's not much issues from the security as well. So I get a place for them to stay. And for the material part, it's again the same. So I think with the materials and all, it's pretty much like one solution for it, that you pre-order the materials, and if there is some kind of confusion or some decision that is pending from your clients, and which laminate to choose, or which paint to choose, or whatever XYZ selection that is pending, you can push your client to complete the selections first, okay, so that you can make sure that these materials are available with your vendors and they are delivered before any kind of lockdown happens or any kind of restriction happens. Okay, so these are a few things which I really feel which was important for me to address or communicate to you guys, because so many of you reached out to me and it was really important for me to understand, you know, what you guys feel about it. So please, you know, feel free to DM me, or, you know, put your ideas or thoughts about this on the comment section, so that I really know that, you know, what you guys are also feeling, because this is supposed to be a chit chat session and I really want to know that, you know, what you guys are also feeling, because I guess the problem or the troubles or the challenges, you can see, that we all of us are facing, so we have to solve this collectively. I can have some ideas to all these questions, you guys might have some other ideas, some more unique ideas to these kind of you know, challenges and questions that I just addressed. So I think it will be helpful for all of us to just discuss this and solve this. Okay, so stay positive. It's very important for us right now to really stay positive and move forward together in this. We all are there together in this. Okay, so let's spread positivity. If there is something else you guys want me to come up with, please feel free to reach out. Okay, all right, bye bye, take care.